One element of Battle for Azeroth that I was really interested in was going to be how the storytelling took over. I found the pre-expansion event to be a mess. There were some wonderful bits of storytelling when it came to Sarfang that made lots of sense, and there were some what seemed to be crazy illogical storytelling when it came to the Horde and how the rest of the Horde reacted. Now, it has come out that Christy Golden had nothing to do with that. Her story time comes in the actual expansion itself. I've been enjoying the leveling up element of it. Better put that light on. I've enjoyed the leveling up element of it, particularly Justvar, so I'm quite happy that we're back in Justvar at the moment. And I really wanted to see how her storytelling has taken hold of the game. All of this Jaina story has come at top level. And that I really appreciated. With Battle for Azeroth not having a Suramar zone, I really wanted a powerful narrative to start shining through the game. This, to me, is what's been greatly missing from the World of Warcraft. Real, proper, nuanced looks at a character, a specific character. They had very small elements of it when it came to Anduin in Legion. And to be honest with you, very basic elements. It was, when Varian died, it was obvious that Anduin would have to take control. Also, his young age has really kind of precluded him from becoming that main figurehead that many people wanted him to. But having been forced to step into that role with the result of his father dying, it was dealt with in a reasonable manner. I would have liked to have seen much more when it came to Anduin, much more about the character. This here is very interesting because, of course, we've had Jaina Proudmoore, a character which has, again, seemingly been dealt a misservice in the game, just being pushed aside in Legion, so Khadgar could be the neutral voice of the Kirin Tor, which, again, in my eyes was pretty weak and pretty poor storytelling. So they pushed her off to one side. Now we're actually getting some fleshed out Jaina Proudmoore. Not only that, but we're seeing it from the perspective of her mother as well. I don't want to give this too much credit because I don't like story being out of the game. But in the Warbringer series, we did see, of course, the little hints of the traitor element, which people have attached to Jaina Proudmoore. Her own people, I stress, not the Alliance. Well, you talk about a character and they suddenly turn up. But this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect because this is the nuance right here. We're seeing Jaina when she was the reasoned arm of Varian Rin, where she cried at the top of ICC because of her counsel. Varian allowed Sarfang Senior to take his dead son away without any bloodshed between the Horde and the Alliance. And it's great that this is the nuanced story here. I have to say nuanced again because this is it. We're now seeing that the guilt of Jaina Proudmoore, which is built up inside of her with the fact that she preached peace and tolerance as opposed to the all-out war which is allegedly happening in Battle for Azeroth. While we're moving to the next image, which is not too far ahead, so I just want to briefly touch on this. If only WoW could have more of this. If only WoW could have more of this based around the main characters. And not just the main characters, but also the characters which should have work done to them. Bane, Vol'jin. I mean, we'll get some Vol'jin in this expansion, but Vol'jin should have had this. Mechatork. Characters like that. Give them some flesh. Put some flesh on their bones. You know, they're memes half the time. Give them characters. Ronin, again, he was a character who was in the OG Dalaran during Wrath of the Lich King. And then the next time you saw him in game, there was a statue of his body, because he was dead, because he died in a book. storytelling which should have been told in the game. Yeah, so although the books might be well written, and I don't doubt they are, I mean, if Christie Golden is responsible for something like this, if this is part of her storytelling, I think it's magnificent. And dare I say, it would translate very well in book form. I just believe that the books shouldn't have current continuity. It should be provided in game, because look at what it actually provides to the player. Look at how much depth it actually gives us, and also not only that, just think of the gaps that it fills in for us, the character motivation, the feelings and thoughts of these characters, the guilt which we've seen here with Jaina Proudmoore. If these things were only put in game on a more regular basis, pushing the books to one side, the game would be fleshed out magnificently when it came to its characters. What I do like as well is the setting. And not just from an aesthetic point of view, but when Jaina was imprisoned, it could have been so easy to have just a bog standard prison. Cells. Somewhere to break into. Tol de Gore. Tol de Gore? Whatever the prison is called. It could have just been easy, so easy to place her in that. So the idea to have her trapped in a nightmarish prison, a prison of a different realm, very clever indeed, and of course allows for this pretty awesome storytelling which is going on. Dalen, of course, died by his own pride. It wasn't Jaina's fault. She wouldn't relent with her belief that the Horde and Alliance could coexist. It was actually Dalen's raw hatred of the Horde which led to his death.
Oh, there you are.
I did everything wrong.
We're too late. This entire city must be purged.
Didn't expect that.
Jaina?
I'm sorry, Arthas. I can't watch you do this. I should have stopped him. He never would have turned. He'd still be alive.
You have always been naive, my daughter.
Dalen.
I won't let you do it, Father!
I should have tried harder.
You don't understand!
I understand more than you suspect, my dear.
I wasn't strong enough.
Perhaps in time, you will too. Seize them all!
I should have made him listen.
Father, no!
Forgive me. You couldn't save him from himself. I should have made him see his sin.
Do you really think you can cast aside your guilt so easily?
Father, why wouldn't you listen?
Catherine, enforce our laws. The punishment for treason is death.
Do you accept the judgment of your homeland? I accept your judgment, Mother. My daughter. Forgive me. Forgive your father. And forgive yourself.
Come topside, sweetheart.
That was excellent. That was just fantastic. That really was fantastic. I thought it was some very good storytelling, and actually, You know, just shows how much you could read what was happening. That it was guilt that was driving Jaina, and as I mentioned before, it was Dalen's own hatred of the Horde that drove him to his death. So we saw all this baggage that Jaina was carrying, all this guilt from other people. She didn't do anything wrong by promoting peace between the Horde and the Alliance. Ultimately, it led to, you know, the deaths of certain characters, but that wasn't her fault. That was due to the actions of other people. But she, again, just blames herself, constantly blames herself for these problems, and it was excellently told. So if this is Christy Golden who did this, or whoever did this, whomever did this, it's absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on storytelling. So this was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was the fleshing out of a character that I'd been desperate to be fleshed out. It was told in a really clever way, and it felt me connected to them. I understood the motivation clearly. I understood what was driving them, or in this case, tormenting them. I want more. I want a lot more of this. So please, can we have it? Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links down in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.